Love me forever. What in the name of God? Watching you smile when on FaceTime. Wishing we can be closer, but that'll take time. You busy chasing the bag. I admire your hustle, girl, you a bad chick. You probably wonder why I didn't say bitch, and I never will. And if another nigga do, you know I shoot to kill. Let me get off that. And girl, you all that in a bag of chips, I mean it. Ain't nobody else gonna never come between it. When it comes to me and you, girl, it's different connections. Got all these bitches hating and all of these niggas guessing. From day one, I know that you were the one for me. All of my dark days, girl, you were the sun for me. And we done been through the mud, nobody knows. But even diamonds gotta get pressure before they glow. What happened to the the jam did just not just go off on a real nigga like that. Love, no, I'm gonna run that back. Nigga, I'm on my shit over here. I'm gonna run that back. Baby girl, it's just out of here. Live and on point. I'm pulling receipts right now. Work with me. I'm pulling receipts. Oh, y'all already know who this is. Y'all get in here, man. We busting in. We coming in. The dumb way. Watching you smile when on FaceTime. Wishing we can be closer, but that'll take time. You busy chasing the bag. I admire your hustle, girl, you a bad chick. You probably wonder why I didn't say bitch, and I never will. And if another nigga do, you know I shoot to kill. Let me get off that. And girl, you all that in a bag of chips, I mean it. Ain't nobody else gonna never come between it when it comes to me and live and on Pizzle. Let's go. All these bitches hating and all of these niggas guessing. From day one, I know that you were the one for me. All of my dark days, girl, you were the sun for me. And we done been through the mud, nobody knows. But even diamonds gotta get pressure before they glow. I wanna thank you for loving me the way you do. I mean it for forever when I say I love you. We don't say my love no more, but I want you to know how much I love you. So, baby girl, it's your smile, the way you walk, the way you talk. It's everything about you to make all my dreams come true. Just love me forever. We dealing receipts. Just love me forever. Take a look at your screen right now. That's what we deal with. Receipts. Love me forever. We deal with receipts. Tell me what can I do? Let me stop it right there, man. Live and on point. J Baby in the building. Make sure you get a like in off top. We deal in receipts. You with the shits already. Duval, king of R&B. We got Siobhan in here. We gonna get to Siobhan. We gonna get to him, Siobhan. We know your name, man. Siobhan, I'm trying to get you right. Know what's up, man. Yeah. We got you. Hey, we deal in receipts. Take a look at the screen. And seriously look at the screen. Number 7. Under who? This is come on, man. You can't make this stuff up. You can't this not no fake vaccine card or nothing like that. None of that jiggy shit. This what you hearing right here. Number 7 on the chart. J Lyric. We dealing receipts. Janet Jackson posted it. So you know it's real. This ain't no cap stuff that we dealing in right now. Shout out to that boy. Yeah, this ain't no cap stuff we dealing in. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just proud of my nigga, man. J Lyric, number 7, probably on the way to number 1. So, man, make sure I'm about to even put it in there. And I think J Lyric coming up here this week, we're gonna do a real nigga celebration. But let me get his link in the comment section so you can go buy the new J Lyric project because it's a phenomenal project. It's getting critically acclaimed in these streets, and I knew it would. You know what I mean? Because I heard it off top. I'm like, okay, yeah, this some next level shit. Boom! It's in the comment section. Make sure you get that iTunes link. Live and on point. Can I get it right? Siobhan? Yeah. How you doing, sir? I'm cool. Siobhan is the host of the Living Room podcast. Yes, sir. And make sure I hear you on your mic. Oh, no, I can't hear you. My bad. Siobhan got you all fucked up in the game, dog.
Oh, I couldn't even hit. They couldn't hear me.
You can't hear yourself. You know you couldn't hear yourself.
Myself. It was feeding through.
Oh, damn. Now you hear yourself clear.
I keep one headphone off. I got to hear myself speak.
Oh, okay. Speak to the people, black man.
That was good, man. This your boy Savon with the Living Room Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep it going. Y'all can check that out on Spotify. You can check it out at Anchor. You can check it out on any place you listen to podcasts, man.
And we're going to get into the podcast. I know you had a lot of noticeable guests. I think you had one of my guys on there too. But how you been doing as a person, man?
Life's good.
I see you repping FAMU.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All 4 years?
All 4 years.
Oh, damn.
A lot of people say they go there, like they went there, but there's a difference between going there and graduating.
Ooh. So you one of them niggas looking down on niggas that just were trying to have a good time.
You can't show up for one semester and be like, yeah, fam, me black. You was here for one semester.
But if he black, he could do that. That's what I did at LCCJ. I did 2 semesters. And he be like, and if it didn't count, why on the application do they ask for? Do you have some college? Thank you. That matter. They want to know if you tried.
Hey,
don't be looking down on
graduated.
Nah, you graduated. Big nigga over here. Big nigga. So let me ask you this. You went to FAMU. How many did you run through though? That's what really matters.
Man, we don't talk like that,
man. You tell me in my ear.
Nah, you ain't putting that out there.
I know it had to be like in the 20s.
Hey, I leave it up to whoever want to think what they
I
think.
Can't imagine being on the college campus with 18-year-olds and I'm 18 and you not running through about 20 of them joints, man. Keep it real with me.
I had my fun.
20 of them joints. I know it.
Nah, I definitely had my fun, but I ain't putting it out there.
Oh, man. I don't even know. I think really if you in the college scene, you can hit 20 a month.
Nah, like one thing I can say is you being out there, you have the opportunity to meet somebody every day you step out your door.
That's what I'm saying. That's
every day.
Dang, I did myself an injustice not going to college.
Yeah, everybody got a misconception of what college is about. They think it's just like the shit like in a classroom when it's just like work. Man, that shit like 60-70% work.
Man, I would have left college with 500,000 miles. Ran in on me.
It's real.
Hey man, shit, I put the miles up.
I was focused, man.
I know, man. You been trying to get the money. But other than that, you're doing good, man.
Yeah, life's good. I can't complain.
Yeah. I see you come repping. That's what I like to see. Did the Rattlers do something big this year, football or something?
Yeah, they went to the playoffs.
Okay, did they win? Did they?
Nah, they lost first round.
Oh, okay.
But that was still big. That was big for them.
Yeah, I knew I seen their name in the media doing. I'm not really keeping up with sports like that. And matter of fact, we do got a sports topic coming up, but I don't keep it with sports like that. But I do remember hearing their name in the media.
Yeah, no, they kept it good this year. They kept their face clean. Everything was good. They beat Jackson State out for that playoff spot.
Okay.
Yeah, who's a big name in HBCU sports right now. Shout out to them though.
Now a lot of stuff going on with HBCUs because it's a lot of this week. It's been a lot of bomb threats. And they've been saying that people been threatening doing little stuff. Some white supremacists probably trying to scare shit up because of Black History Month.
And these days, you don't even know if it's even white supremacists these days.
Ooh, that's what you real about. That it could be another black person.
Like us as being black, we rather it be that way because we can't accept it being somebody black because it'll just be like, damn, niggas making us.
I wasn't gonna go there, but you right about that.
Yeah, so I mean, but this is what the second time that happened. One thing I say, they got the FBI involved. If they want to find who calling in bomb threats, they could have been finding them. You need to find anything else. You can find niggas calling the bomb threats from schools.
True,
multiple ones at that. So let's make it make sense, people.
I don't. Why would you want to bomb a HBCU?
I mean, it's a scare tactic, which I don't understand because like once they say it's all clear, is things back to normal. So I mean.
And if you bomb it, why you gotta? If you finna bomb something, I don't think you're gonna give a threat. I think you just gonna get the bomb and shit.
That's why the shit's stupid.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Like
you say over a dozen HBCUs gets bomb threats on the first day of Black History Month.
Yep, and they had it like the first return to school. It was like that.
You know,
start doing that.
A lot of people just be wanting publicity too. You gotta watch that.
I mean, who wants clout for calling it? That got to be like one of the dumbest things to get arrested for. Like you going there, people, what you in here for? I call it bomb threat.
Well, you know, nigga don't plan to get caught. You know that. Nigga don't plan to get caught.
But you got to know you're getting caught when you playing phone games, man.
Yeah.
Playing phone games.
Yeah.
Stay away from the phone.
I don't know. It's some people that know technology and
If the FBI want to find you, they gonna find you.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. So the Living Room podcast, how many interviews did you do on the interview? I mean, on the Living Room podcast?
Boy, I know I'm going on to season 3. That's gonna start sometime this year.
Mhm.
So I'm 2 seasons in. I can't tell you off top what the total is, but like one thing I can say is from first interview all the way up until like the last season, has been somebody notable.
Okay, so give me your top 5 noticeable guests that you had interviewed on the show.
Notable or like as far as like my favorites, because that shit's subjective when we talk about notable.
We'll do famous, then we'll do your favorite.
Because what means something to me, like put it like this: my favorite interview was Jay Holiday.
Ooh, I saw you did one with Jay Holiday.
My favorite one was Jay Holiday.
Whatever happened to Jay Holiday?
Nothing ever happened. He got a new album coming soon.
You just the music. Yeah, people always think when you don't fall off in the music industry, they think it's something happened to you, but people don't realize how big and how ruthless the music business is.
But we only do that to our own.
I know, right? Because it's too many. That's why we trying to tell niggas, let the talented people rock, and you just sit back and spectate. Because once you always got when you got it's just too distracting.
The only thing about it is though, I don't see how that happened with R&B though, because R&B is something that live forever. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop comes and goes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Hip hop comes and goes, but R&B lives forever. Like when you have R&B artists that singing shit, you could be in your 60s and still singing. We see Ron Isley doing the shit, touring everything, doing versus battles, all that, and it's all rememberable.
Do you think the younger generation is just not smashing to that type of music no more?
No, you know what? A lot of people, they want you to blame it on the young generation.
Mm-hmm.
What I think it is just how these record companies are set up. Why market anything that makes you feel good when we can market shit that can make y'all self-destruct? So you know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to market what this new hip hop shit is. People talking about killing dead ops and shit like that, rather than shit that's supposed to make you feel good and uplift. You know what I'm saying? So, but they want to look like, man, this newer generation ain't on that. The newer generation is willing to accept whatever you put in front of their face if you do it enough.
I just don't know.
There's a lane for it, man. Like there's a lot of people in R&B right now who's still making albums that some people would be like, damn, whatever happened to them? They still making records. 112 still making albums. Vivian Green still making albums. Jay Holiday still making albums.
Do they sound the same? Do they sound just
good? And still be topping on the iTunes charts. But a lot of people feel like they don't hear from them on the main radio stations no more, that they watched or they fell off. Nah, a lot of them smartened up, got off these big labels, started doing stuff independently, and still making good quality music. It's just that when we don't see their face in the front, people be like, man, they washed. We ain't listen to that shit no more. And the music still be good.
Yeah, the Dream really hooked Jay Holiday up. Did he say anything about his relationship with the Dream?
Yeah, I talked about all that.
What'd he say?
Yeah, he talked about the writing process of it. What was it? Bed.
Yeah.
You know, like we talked about all that. It was like an hour interview. We kicked it on there for like an hour. And like he not a person that run from questions or nothing like that. Like he kept it all the way real.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like probably my favorite interview. But like one of the biggest for me was interviewing the co-owner of the Source magazine, Dave Mays. Or the originator of the Source magazine and the Source Awards. So he's behind the scenes. Unless you like really involved in like being a hip hop head, a lot of people don't really know who Dave Mays is.
I heard of Dave Mays. I don't know who he is. What is he doing right now? What's his update?
He's starting up a podcast network. Breakbeat Media. So like so far he got the chick that used to be on Gilly's podcast. Don't Call Me White Girl.
Oh, White Girl.
Yeah, that why you being weird to me? Huh.
Yeah, but they was trying to shut her down because Ari went on there talking about I like getting beat or pulled a pistol out on me or something crazy.
Nah, she got her own podcast and it did.
I seen her on Angela Yee podcast too. Like
they just did lip service. But it's like they he's starting that up, so he got a whole new thing that he going. But like he's the originator of the Source magazine and the Source Awards. Benzino was like somebody he brought into the fold during the beginning of it, but he's the originator of it. So if you're a real hip hop head, the Source magazine is like the hip hop Bible, what they call it.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest because I'm a hip hop head.
You used to love going to the store with your mom. First place you used to go when you get to the grocery store, that magazine section. I used to look at Source, you look at Vibe, you look at Double XL, then you was out.
Exactly.
But then those days fell off. And even back in the day that used to be a Blockbuster on the 103rd, and I figured out they used to throw their magazines away when nobody didn't buy them. I used to go back there in the dumpster and get them joints. Oh yeah.
We when I was in college in our apartment, we had our table in the living room. We had nothing but magazines like XXL, whatever, in the living room, whatever. So,
kids won't never know about that shit nowadays.
Nah, not at all.
That's so, just junk now.
I ended the last season with him as my final interview because I was bigger than me, like speaking to him directly as a source. But like I interviewed people from Jay Holiday, Dave Mays to Vivian Green, Shirley Murdoch, Play from Kid and Play, D Woods from Danity Kane. Like it just I go and try to interview the people that people say they forgot about.
Did you I know didn't Play work at FS? I mean FAMU?
He taught at FAM. I actually taught him. I took his class the first year he offered it.
What are you talking about?
It was a hip hop humanities class, so it's like
what kind of credit you get for that?
Hip hop history. No, it's really considered a humanities course.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like the history of hip hop. So it was dope. And he was like, he wasn't there every class, but like he was there for most of them. Like you could walk in a class and he tangible, he right there in front of you. So it's like,
why he wasn't there for all of them?
Because he have other engagements and stuff. You know, him and kids to be going on tour and shit like that.
Oh
yeah. So he was like, you know, he wasn't the main teacher. It was like co-taught him and Dr. Kwachi Clemens.
But see, when they promote stuff in the media, they always make it seem like, oh, we're players teaching the class by herself.
Nah, I mean, some of them do have their own residencies at these schools and stuff like that. Like they'll have certain people that like was a part of that school come back and teach certain courses and stuff like that.
Okay.
But like that was big because they did it at another school and they came to FAM and I took it the first year it was offered. So I was already familiar with them and everything.
Oh, that's pretty cool to get taught by Kid and Play. Did he have any information about the House Party series or what's?
Yeah, we talked about that. Like, all right, is this the funny thing? Like when I kicked off the podcast, it was my first remote interview. Because before that, my first 3 interviews was done via phone. So like my last phone interview was with Nate Robinson. He used to play with on the NBA.
Oh yeah, he was. Didn't he win a dunk competition?
Dunk competition. Yeah. Like he was the man. Knicks. Like when he played, you know, a lot of people like to sum him up to like that.
The shortest nigga who ever played.
The bots and shit. They like.
Oh yeah, I forgot he got his ass beat.
He got knocked out, but. That's a lot of people like to sum him up to that, but he was a hell of an athlete. He played football in college and played basketball.
He looked like he more built for football anyway.
He was nice. He was nice, but he chose basketball. So like he was like what my 3rd interview probably. And so Play, knowing how he operates, he doesn't really want to give his number out because you know don't know what people want to do with it. So he was like, we could do it through Zoom or Skype. I was like, shit, we could do it on Zoom.
Did he remember you?
The shit. He was honest. Nah. I don't think he
did. Yeah, because I know. I guess he meets so many people.
Did.
He probably meets so many people. It's like
yeah.
Through his lifetime, you're like, yo, bro.
Nah, but he kept it all the way real. We almost did like an hour or 2. So like he got into a lot of stuff like the Grammy situation, the
What happened at the Grammys?
Well, when him and Will Smith and all those hip hop artists around, then they boycotted the Grammys for them not showing them presenting the hip hop award on TV.
Oh,
so that's the year. There's a big picture of it. If you go Google it, it's like all of them, Salt and Pepper, all of them, they all boycotting the Grammys from them. Back then, they used to show the Grammys, but they wouldn't show them presenting the hip hop award on TV. So it'll pop up like so and so won hip hop award, but you didn't see them presenting it live on TV. So they boycotted.
But hip hop wasn't that popular back then.
Hip hop's always was popular from the beginning. You got the origins of hip hop. The origins of hip hop was always good to what they would consider the urban culture. But the problem is hip hop wasn't accepted by the older generation. So it wasn't even a black and white thing. It was the older generation. Because when you think about early hip hop, there was some white boys that wanted to be in hip hop. There were white boys that was in hip hop and was nice. You know what I'm saying? Like early rap groups. Even if you go and look back and Google Max Kellerman, that's on ESPN and everything, he tried to be a rapper. If you go back and look at Mark Wahlberg, he had a hit song. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
you think about Kellum niggified.
Yeah, you think about Third Base. There was a white rapper in there. So hip hop always appeared to the mainstream media. It was just about you always have to have a scapegoat when you start talking about violence and crime and shit like that. So hip hop wasn't derived off that. You know, there's elements of hip hop. That's a whole nother thing you go into. But like originally hip hop always appealed to the young culture, and that's what it is now. And so it's just like us, we getting older, we probably look at these new rappers and be like, man, this shit trash. We don't understand what they talking about, and they talking about this and that. Just think about what grandparents stuff was saying about our parents when they was listening to LL and Big Daddy Kane and Rakim and shit. They was probably saying the same thing.
Yeah, they probably like, yo, they probably rather hear that stuff than the stuff that these rappers make nowadays. All this throat baby, they done took this. I don't know. I guess it have gotten a little more vulgar.
I mean, when you think about it though, because like I thought about it like that for a minute, but you go back and listen to a lot of songs in the 90s, it was just about the same. It's just they wasn't so direct. So I listened to songs I used to listen to as a kid and be like, damn, I can't believe I was singing that as a kid.
But you know, they used to make the artists go back in the booth and record all their tracks clean.
Yeah, everybody, you have for radio, you gotta have a clean.
But
version.
they don't do clean tracks no more. All they do is a little blank out, and you still know what they say.
Yeah, you kind of damn near know.
Yeah, I know they used to make them go and do the whole track over, but now they don't. Everybody lazy.
Yeah, and the edits used to be trash back then too.
Yeah, and that used to be.
Yeah, it used to be bad. But
we got
they do it like
Shervan. I want to make sure you say I got a problem with S's.
Shervan. Yes, sir.
From the Living Room Podcast, he's up here. And we talked about his podcast, some of his most favorite interviews. And you can catch that podcast where?
On Spotify.
Anchor.fm
is the Living Room Podcast.
Now, real quick, I want to get your opinion on this. Now, I hear Kanye West out here keep kicking up dust this week. He's saying that he wants to rebrand Black History Month and rebrand it to Black Future Month. Now, you always have certain black people come out around Black History Month like, yo, I'm tired of Black history. Why we gotta do Black history every year? You know what I mean? White people don't complain. They just don't celebrate. They just keep it moving. What's your opinion on that?
Why are we still listening to Kanye?
Ooh, Kanye West not considered a genius anymore?
No, it's not about the music. Like, is more so like those hot takes that he do. Like, you got to think about all that shit comes around in time for an album.
Ooh, yeah, he do got that Donda 2 dropping.
But even if it's not about an album, like, since when we start taking what celebrities say and run with it as law? You got to stop doing that shit.
No, but you know how Kanye West got into that position ever since he said George Bush don't care about black people.
Here's the thing.
Then black people just ran with that. See, all you gotta do is tell black people the truth one time, and then that's just all we need.
Kanye is somebody who is forever gonna be loved in hip hop culture. Kanye wore the MAGA hat. Kanye could say slavery was a choice, all that, and niggas are still gonna buy Yeezys. Niggas are still gonna listen to his albums, line up, buy Yeezys, and they're still gonna value his opinion. Now, I love Kanye as a genius. I love Kanye as far as what he does musically, even though some songs, some music I'm not like too big on these days, just because it's gotten out of the way of what the fundamentals.
You wasn't fucking with Donda?
I think Donda was a long album.
Donda was
if you cut Donda in half,
it's no track I would take off Donda.
If you cut Donda in half and certain songs that he didn't have features and he did the part twos, if those part twos was just the songs he kept on the album,
yeah, I think the part two should have been.
Then those could have like it could have been a better album. Like, it would have been solid. And then if it wasn't going against a comparison to Drake stuff, it could have like. I mean, it did the numbers it was supposed to do, but for me,
I don't think Donda was better than Certified Lover Boy.
I didn't like both albums.
I expect that because I don't want you. I couldn't sit here and say that.
I didn't
if
like
Drake album was better, I would say that. I think as far as the listening experience, Kanye West had the better album. Now, you want to talk about Drake had some better bangers on his album, of course, but Kanye West had a better project.
You know, the thing about it to me is like I like Drake's album better. And the only reason why is because a lot of Drake's music, for me, I have to go back and listen to it. And then I see what he was trying to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like with Kanye stuff, his genius has gotten so off the wire. Like his beats is like real convoluted. And like when I listen to stuff in the headphones, when I really sit down and be one with the music and it sounds like it's everywhere where I can't even digest what you're saying, it just like his beats start to get everywhere.
You ain't on that wave yet.
Nah, it ain't about the wave. He did the same thing with Yeezus. You know what I'm saying? Yeezus
is sonically the hardest album he probably dropped.
No.
You don't fuck with Ye. I always tell people Kanye West never dropped a bad album. But we're not talking about, we're talking about Kanye West. He was rebranding Black History Month.
How do you rebrand that?
Black Future Month. He want black people to start focusing on the future, I'm thinking.
But how can we focus on the future when a lot of people don't know about their past?
Ooh, who don't know about the past?
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that don't know certain things about Black history. And then even when you go and say that, what about the people under us that don't know about Black history? Us teaching kids that's coming up next. Like, what about them? You know what I'm saying? Like, that sounds worse. That sounds worse than DeSantis saying that he want to take Black history away from these schools and stuff like that. We can't erase Black history.
Did Rob DeSantis say that?
He passing a law about that shit.
No, he was passing a law about critical race theory.
What is that?
That's teaching white people that they're somehow bad for what their ancestors did in the past.
That's taking away Black history.
No, that's not. That's
if we
because a lot of that Black history is misinformation anyway.
Black history is history.
A lot of that stuff has been emotionalized.
Black history is history.
A lot of that stuff is not true though. Some of that stuff has been exaggerated.
Like what?
I can't just sit in here and say
that's what I'm saying. Like what?
Anything I say, people gonna be like, "Oh no, it ain't."
No, it's not true. But when you talk about history,
number one, every Black person wasn't a slave. Number one, most Black people was native to this land and was already here before Black people. And when you tell them that, I mean, before white people even got here, they was here with the Native Americans. Even when you just say that, they don't want to hear that.
But it's not about the fact that every Black person wasn't a slave, but every Black person was oppressed in some type of way.
That's not true either.
How can you feel that way? Because
you had Black slave owners.
You had Black slave owners, but that wasn't.
You had Black people that was able to work for their freedom.
And still under a system of some type of slavery. Sharecropping is a part of slavery.
That's not slavery.
That is a part of slavery. Telling people if you work this hard, you can get this amount of land.
That's the same thing they do. You don't even get that no more.
And don't even give it to them. So they're still under a system. When we think about it today, we're still under a form of oppression. Yeah, we can live good. We comfortable. We can go buy houses. We can own shit.
That's what I'm saying.
But we're still always going to be under a part of some type of oppression. And the reason why is because we don't own shit.
But are you feeling sad about that now?
It's a power construct. Hell yeah. When you work in corporate America, you have to face that every day.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think they was feeling the same way that people try to make people like. I don't think they were comfortable. But I feel like what Kanye West said, if it was that bad, you would have did something. You wouldn't have been nothing on 400 years.
My thing is, Kanye can only be taken with a grain of salt. And then another thing about this is Kanye. That's a damn opinion. Like people got to stop taking people's opinions serious. Everybody has an opinion. So if Kanye says some stuff and you don't agree, fuck it, you don't agree. You think he care? He already done said what he said and got people talking. That was the plan, to get people talking about it. So it's like, we can disagree, we could agree, but the fact is, how do you rebrand slavery? I mean, how do you rebrand a Black history?
I don't say we need to rebrand it, but I think we just need to join it all together with American history. We need to get rid of this black, white thing, because America is finna get taken over by Hispanics. And then we're going to have to hear something about Hispanic history. And then you're going to have to hear about mulatto history. Then you're going to have to hear about mixed people history. We don't want to hear all this history, trans history. Let's just put it all together, American history, and let's talk about the stuff that really matter.
Bro, American history has been something we've been taught our whole lives.
What's that?
When we in school, do you recall really receiving real Black history? What was Black history to you when we was in school?
Rosa Parks, Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Martin Luther King, a little bit of Malcolm X. And that's all you really need.
Shit, I never heard of Malcolm X when I was.
And they told you that Black people was in slavery,
bro. This is what I'm saying. When we was in school, we was taught white people being great, white people being great, white people being great. Then Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, white people being great, white people being great. I didn't get real Black history till I went off to HBCU, because it was mandatory that we took African American history. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of these kids don't even know their history.
That history wasn't true either. Did they tell you that Black people was already here before white people?
I mean, when you talk about that's why I say history is Black history, bro.
But did they tell y'all that? I didn't want to verify that.
No, they didn't.
Oh, but then that wasn't true history.
They didn't.
Did you see Hidden Colors?
Yeah, I seen that movie.
Do you know about the Gullah Geechees?
They don't teach that.
They didn't teach that in the HBCU.
How did you learn? How did you learn about Black history? Was it in school?
No, I don't know nothing, because obviously people, they're like, I don't know nothing. I don't get credit for it. If
I
say stuff, no, I don't see. That's why I don't like that too, because somebody did that to me before. Cause I tell them something, anybody, how you know? I'm just putting the information out there. I don't got no degree. I'm black and slow. I know.
People don't even have to depend on other people because they can get on the phone and learn how to do the stupidest shit. A new dance, a choreography for TikTok. You can learn your history.
But I'm wondering why they didn't teach y'all that in the HBCU. Black people was already here. Why they want to make it seem like all black people
I'm not saying they
were slaves? Isn't that more empowering though? If you hear that, black people was already here in America.
We already knew some form of fashion that black derived in so many different spots, not just America alone.
But actually, I heard that most of the black people that came from Africa was really spread throughout the Caribbean.
Yeah, when you think about South America,
most of the black people, most of the Africans didn't even make it to North America.
Yeah,
why they don't teach you that though?
They don't teach you that in regular schools. What I'm saying, I didn't learn real black history until I got to college.
That's why we need to get rid of it, because they're not going to teach you stuff that make you feel proud. They want to teach you all this stuff. Oh, listen, you was in some change, and then next thing you know, you all depressed and you sad, and you looking at, and then you in that victim mindset in your subconscious. So now when white people ain't paying no attention to you and they don't move out your way on the sidewalk, oh, they racist. It feel like 1963.
You want to know why it's like that though? Is because the truth of our history is nothing to be proud of at all.
That's not the truth about our history.
The thing that makes it to where we're proud of today is how far we have came.
Just think about the nigga word.
Okay.
If the nigga word was so bad to be called the nigga, then why we took it and started calling each other that? It couldn't. They probably did not feel that bad about being called no nigga.
What makes you say that?
Because we took it and we started calling each other it, and it was cool.
And why do people say they did that?
I don't know.
I'm not justifying it.
I don't want to go by why people say, because people gonna say it and make it seem like I did it because I had no other choice. You did it because it probably didn't affect you like that back then.
No, when people say why they use nigga as a term of endearment, it's just basically them saying in a simple and simplistic form of way that they took it in, what do you say, rebrand history is rebranding the name and putting it as a term of endearment. So it's just like they took the negative stigma on it and then took it. I never liked the justification for it, but when I say I don't use the word, I use it faithfully, but it doesn't have the same meaning.
But let me ask you this: if we from Africa and we don't know the language, and somebody call you a nigger, how we know that's a bad thing?
What do you? I don't get your question.
We don't know the language, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go to Mexico, you don't know their language, and they call you a derogatory language. How you know that's a derogatory language if you don't know the word? They just calling you.
If they calling you that, they know what that shit means. All right. So did you?
But in Spanish, if the word was Negro, black was Negro.
Right.
So why was that a bad word if you like, oh, you Negro? If in Spanish, they're going to tell you a Negro.
You've seen the new video of the Olympic athletes that's in Beijing, I think, China. They was getting off the bus and the Chinese people was calling them nigga.
They were what color?
They was in Beijing. I think it's like the Winter Olympics or whatever. So it's the black athletes getting off the bus and the Chinese people calling them, yelling nigger at them. You can Google it. They don't have to be from here to know what that shit means.
I'm talking about they knew what then. Now
in
they
the term
do,
and the way they was using it, they know what the hell that shit meant.
Even back then, huh?
Yes.
Ooh,
that's what I'm saying, man. Like when you think about the history of us being black, bro, it's not always gonna be the proud moments, but there's a lot of people that still don't know their history, and people that love to remain ignorant and don't want to learn about the history because like anything could be searched now. You can go find, you could go look at anything. At campus alone, we had this thing called the Black Archives. So it goes beyond just the African American history class. You can go to the Black Archives and start looking at certain things. All
right. So, we not with Kanye West rebranding black history.
He could say he could do whatever he want to do. My thing is, how are you going to do that? How do you rebrand black history? That's when he says that, I want to know how. Because I'm not going to say it sounds stupid, but I'm going to say what do you consider rebranding black history? Because if you're saying black history is only about the bad side to it or whatever, when you think about black history, there was a lot of bad before it got good. And it's still not good. We're still in a place of some form of oppression as black people and other minorities that like suffer just as much. Do you
think we better off or worse than we was back then? Because you got to think now, best like in the 60s, we had families, we had communities, We had structure amongst our communities. We had our own mafias. We had our own sports league. Now you got this guy. We finna get to this story. What is his name? Brian Flores.
Brian Flores.
You got this black guy complaining to white people. Do you think that just to me it looked like it was better then? Even though yes, you know, white people didn't like us and we probably couldn't get no money, but we had more values and structure and more love for each other back then than we do now.
So I can't fully agree with that. And the reason why I say it wasn't better then and now is because like we're educated now. We're more educated than what we were back then at a growing number. A second reason is why we would love to have black owned
But
stuff.
education is what's holding us back, to be honest, because when you go to those universities, especially you go to those white universities, they start indoctrinating you with all that mess and you lose the values that your grandmother and your father and your grandfather gave you like you had back in the day. Those values that you got from the church.
Education goes way beyond the classroom, though.
I mean, yeah.
It goes beyond the classroom. It starts at home. So, like, this is what you see when you see a level of ignorance. It's a trickle down of, like, people are products of their environment. And like when I came back from college is what I had to understand is like I'm no better than anybody who did not go to college because I went to school with a lot of dumb educated people.
You just said you were better than the niggas that didn't.
No, I did not. No, I did not. I never said that. You said that. I said that there's a difference between people saying that they went to FAMU or they graduated from FAMU. I graduated.
Well, which one is better?
Nobody's better. It don't make me. I've never came back feeling like I was better than people because majority of my homies didn't go to college. The majority of my homies I grew up with did not go to college. That don't make me better than them. But I can say some people can be products of their environment because you are what you are of your environment. If you don't get outside of your environment and experience more, all you're gonna know is what you constructed to be around. So you're gonna have to want it for yourself. And this goes way beyond.
But
education.
This is what I'm saying. The black environment back in the days was much better. Yes, we had our problem once we left our environments around white people. Of course, they didn't like us. Check. But I'm talking about amongst each other, the environment was better because you had people that could correct you even if they wasn't your parents because you knew that these people had a good inside. You knew these people had a good heart. You can't have nobody correcting your kids now because everybody a mess.
Well,
and motherfuckers be dead wrong on the daily and then want to go around here correcting some children.
You think that shit didn't exist then?
Not in the totality of what we're seeing it now. That's what I'm saying.
The thing about it now versus then is the only way that it's going to be able to work is if these parents that are out here, because I was a teacher before. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know that. I taught before.
But great.
And so I taught middle school through high school.
Okay.
All the way up to the 10th grade. Mm-hmm. So one thing I know is like it starts at home. If your parents is not teaching you what you're doing is wrong and then they don't think it's wrong themselves, what the fuck you think is going to happen when you go out here to the outside world and them people are telling them they wrong? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a trickle effect. It's like, and that's not always the way. It's not always kids that come from bad neighborhoods. You could have, or bad homes. You could have people that was raised in perfect two-family households, had everything laid out on the silver plate for them. And they still gonna choose the direction they gonna go.
And I always tell people those not good households just because it look good on the outside. You got to really dig deep in because a lot of people dress stuff up to make it look good. And then you be looking at the kid like, damn, you had everything. Your parents were perfect. And the parents was in the house. They was a mess.
Yeah, it's like everybody got
so if if you see that all out and the kid go to the opposite, then you could rest assured the parents was no good. I don't care how good it look on the outside looking at.
But like to say that it was better then versus now, it's kind of like, you got to look at subjectively what are we talking about?
I just told you I'm talking about amongst each other.
If you're looking at a community of people, like there's still neighborhoods that's like that where black people are.
But they all like a ghetto.
Unfortunately, it is like that in some places. What happens now is you really want to know what killed it. In my opinion, is older folks that instead of teaching people, they start preaching to people. Like these kids don't want to hear that shit. These kids don't want to hear you preaching, like even with me, because I used to wild out. Now I feel like the old nigga because now I'm like, man, these boys out here wilding. It don't do this, do that. It makes me sound like I'm preaching.
You're not preaching. You just trying to.
But you got to see how it appeals to them. So if you put it in the language, you got to talk their language. So when you talk their language and they see, oh, this nigga's not trying to be the old preacher nigga, then we could take a little bit of that and learn from it. Like I always say, I didn't fully listen to people. I learned a lot of stuff through trial and error, dog. Through trial and error. I just know where I didn't want to end up because I was wilding, bro. Like when I say I was wilding. But it's like it's trial and error that a lot of people unfortunately have to deal with. And then with us as black men, we actually don't get that same opportunity to make mistakes. One mistake could be them sending you up the road. So that's another conversation too.
All right. We talked about Kanye West. He trying to rebrand Black History Month, Black Future Month. And we could go ahead and get into this because I wanted you to bring me up to date about this NFL coach. You said you had some information about this guy. Blind Flores.
So he's suing the NFL.
He's suing the NFL? I thought he was just complaining.
Nah, he's suing their ass.
Oh, okay.
Which rightfully so, because I feel like there's some substance in what he's saying.
What is he saying?
Because he's saying there's some discrimination against them hiring black coaches. And there's some truth to it, I believe.
So let me ask you this person: do you supposed to have 50% black coaches, 50%? What you supposed to have? Let me ask you this: you supposed to have 25% Asian coaches, 25% black coaches, 25% white coaches, and 25% Hispanic coaches. That's where we're going.
No, the thing is,
do you supposed to have a fair number each? This stuff is not going to work. I want to finish the story.
When you think about the NFL, how many black NFL owners are there?
It would be plenty if we would still have the Negro League, but unfortunately, it's none.
We have zero.
But that's not white people's fault. That's our fault.
We have zero black NFL owners, and it's not that people don't have the money to be able to own.
That's what I'm saying.
Teams.
It's not white people's fault. That's our fault.
So it has nothing to do with the money. It has something to do with the good old boy system of it. So when you think about the NFL, there's zero owners. Now let's think about how many black coaches do we have besides Mike Tomlin.
But if it's no white owner, then I'm automatically expected not to be no black. No black owners. I'm expecting not to be no black coaches.
But you got black players.
What's wrong with that?
What do you mean? What's wrong with that? What's
wrong with black people getting a job?
We have a place where we have black owners. Mm-hmm. We have you can count on your hand how many black coaches that there were. Right?
How many is there now?
Shit, the only person I could think of was Mike Tomlin after they fired.
Oh, it was only one. What, they fired him?
They fired Brian Flores. And it's not because he was necessarily a bad coach. When you look at that Miami team, like the team itself wasn't the greatest, but they had a winning season, didn't make it to the playoffs. So they're in rebuilding, but they fired him before he could even get things fully going how he wanted to. But when you think about, they got this thing called the Rooney Rule in the NFL. Mm-hmm. You have to have a certain amount of diverse coaches that you interview. And that's not just limited to just black. We're talking about when they say diverse, it means diverse.
That's what I mean. They're going to have every type of different diversity coming in to coach.
My thing is, it's like, how do you have a sport that black people dominate, but you don't even have those black coaches or black owners when it comes to it? And people don't see it as that.
That's very simple. I can answer that very simple. It's just like any other thing. It's more than getting on the field and playing. It's business. See, that's what we need to start focusing on as black people is focus on business. If we was handling our business, we'll have so much right now.
So you don't think that there's black coaches that's suitable to be able to get the job done?
No, that's still a job. I'm talking about handling business. I'm talking about taking the business, going to get the advertising, building up your own arenas, doing your own team.
The subject here.
If we leave white people stuff, no excuses. No, man, I gotta get my money. I'm talking about every black person just leave.
All right, so let's talk about
they will be out of business overnight.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen.
Then what we talking about?
You're gonna have people that you're gonna have some that's down with the cause, and you're gonna have some that still have to feed their family. And when you take risks, sometimes you don't come with a great reward right away. So when you're talking about having to feed your family, some of these players are just not going to up and leave and say, oh, let's go start our own stuff. You're going to have some that's down with the cause, but the other ones, they still got a bottom line to tend to. You know what I'm saying? There's people that depend on them. So when you think about it is when you have something like the Rooney Rule and you're going to interview diverse people, but in his case, like he's saying with John Elway in Denver, they didn't even treat his stuff like it was a real interview. That was an hour late to his interview. And you ever been to a job interview when you know you wasn't getting it because they just act like, man, we just got to interview this nigga. Let's hurry up and get this over. We already know who we want. That's basically what happened.
Oh, they did.
So, but
formality.
That's not the only case. And then he said Bill Belichick texted him and was like, congratulations on getting a coaching position with the Giants before he even interviewed with it. And it turned out it wasn't the Brian Flores, it was another Brian coach who's the current coach there now. So like, come on, dog. Like, there's bullshit with it, and I think he has a legitimate case because I still don't see how you have a black dominated sport and you can count on your hand how many black coaches
Because
there
black people, I just told
No,
you.
because-
Siobhan, you went to college.
Because no, it has nothing to do with the business
It
aspect of
do.
it.
You have to do the business. That's
It
just
has-
like why
it
we
has-
got all these black rappers, but we don't got no black music distribution companies.
You got to think about who is running the show at the beginning.
Why we got all these black McDonald's workers, but we don't got no black McDonald's franchisees owners?
The NBA gets it.
The NBA got some black owners.
The NBA has black marginal owners, and then they have black coaches.
Oh, so somebody say, J-Dub, did you support Ice Cube bleed? Thank you. Whoever said that don't ask me individually because I don't watch sports, period. I don't support white or black when it comes to sports. So
No,
I
but
don't.
my
But I'm just
thing
talking about
is-
as the
My
sports
thing
people.
is, I feel like he
That's
has
a good question.
I feel like he has a legitimate case, dog. Like, because there's no reason why you shouldn't have. Like, think about it.
But how we can sue? No, that's
No, he has a
like
legitimate
BS to me. You can't. Then I need to start filing lawsuits against everybody who didn't give me a job.
No, it's not that. This is class action discrimination, bro. Like, this is what you consider not class action. This is textbook discrimination, bro.
Did he ever? I don't think that's right.
So
I think
you meaning to
that's
tell
a
me-
house nigga.
So we're not even talking
Brian
about Brian
Flores is a house
I'm not gonna
nigga.
say that. I'm not.
Yes,
gonna
he
say that.
is because you done got your $1 million check, nigga. Keep it pushing. What you want? Some more millions?
That's no, he's not. It's
You
not
want
about
more
money.
money?
In this case, it's not about money.
And yes, it is. You already got paid. These white people cut you a
It's-
check. You
it's bigger
ungrateful. You
It's
want
bigger-
another
it's-
check.
It's bigger than money. That's like saying shut up and dribble.
That's not saying shut up and dribble.
That's
We
like
gave
saying
you a
that.
chance. We don't like your performance. We paid you. You got you a check.
Okay.
$1 million plus. I
So
know he got. Let me see how much money this nigga done made. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to.
So
I'm turned right now.
because
I'm on the
that's
bullshit.
just like saying shut up and just do your job. You hear
That's what I tell everybody who got a job.
So anybody that like all right, so that's the issue.
Be grateful.
No, that's the issue. We have niggas that don't want to speak up and say shit and just take shit.
If you getting $1 million, yeah, don't speak up.
It's like just, but at the end of the day, is it about money or is it about the people that comes after him? Because it's not about him at this point. It's about the next potential coaches that want to get in the league or other people that's wanting to pursue an NFL position.
Don't worry about all
as
that.
a coach.
$4 million
good-
per
we-
year.
So we good enough to play for your ass. We good enough to get you all this money to build your league, but we not good enough to coach.
But think
Come
about
on, bro.
we took half that energy and put it into the Negro leagues. We wouldn't be doing no planning, no splaining, no suing, no begging.
My thing is, why do it have to be segregated though? Why do it have to be segregated? Just
Why not? What's
at the
wrong
end
with
of the
that?
Day, at the end of the day, if somebody's suitable about the for the job, it shouldn't even matter what their race is. But since they making it a race thing,
This is America.
but that's going back to what we said earlier. Then that there is this form of oppression that still exists That
Because
goes way
black people, we did not
It all
fight.
comes back full
Because
circle,
in the
bro.
60s, we had a chance to make a decision. Well, we going to fight the oppression or are we going to join the system? We decided to join that system. We wanted to do what? What's the word?
We want to be treated.
No.
as equal.
What's the word? You
want
went to
be treated as
college.
equal. That's what the fight
The
was.
word is
Civil-
integrate.
Civil rights.
The word
When
was
you think about civil
integrate.
rights,
We
it's about
wanted
us.
to integrate.
When
See,
we
that's
think
the
about it-
problem. This is the backlash of integration. If we would have took, which is 1960, what is it, 2022? If we would have took the last 50 years, we'll be where the NFL at. And we'll have all black coaches. We'll have the best league, super niggas on the field. We'll be doing our thing. I know we would have I know we're gonna make up all type of imaginary excuses like, yo, they would have still stopped us in some type of imaginary way. Yes, for the doubters. I'm gonna say it for you. But other than that, we would have had it. But since we didn't do the business and we decided to do what? Integrate.
Wanting to be equal. Wanting to be treated as equal.
That's the
Wanting
wrong way.
Why is it the wrong way to
Because
want to be treated like a human
I'm
being?
not equal. I'm not equal to nobody. You got somebody out there got money and I'm broke. That's not equal.
Man, when we
Let's
think
get it
about
equal. If we're gonna get it equal, let's get it equal.
when we want to think about what the bottom line is here, he has a legitimate case.
No, he doesn't. If you get a job, you did a job, they hired you, they paid you your contract, you got fired. You don't got the right to sue because they don't want to rehire you. That's you
No,
can't.
he's
You
not-
can't
but
make
you-
it.
you're
That's
missing what the
like it's
point
me. It's like if I work. That's like if I work at a goddamn wherever janitorial service and I keep dropping the damn mop. And then when I
This
go
is
back
not-
and they be
but-
like, yo, can I get my job back? They like, no, nigga, you keep dropping the
But you're
fucking
missing the
mop.
point.
I
He's
can't
not-
sue them for that.
He's not suing for trying to get his job back.
What he suing for?
He's suing due to discrimination against black coaches in the league and what he experienced before he got that coaching job.
Oh, before he got the coaching job, then why you took the job?
The instances and what he experienced before he got that job in Miami.
Why he
was
took the job?
The Denver position. Let me not say that because I don't know if it was before or after. I'm by the stories I'm reading, it sounded like it was beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So because that's when the Giants coach is currently with him, so it had to be beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I'm saying is he has a legitimate case because, like, if there wasn't so much discrimination going around, there would be more black coaches. Because to say that there's out of all these white coaches, because think about it, we have a bunch of white coaches that's mediocre, subpar. And you mean to tell me there's no black coaches or no other minority coaches that can coach better?
But why we expect white people not to look out for each other?
That's what we expect. We expect that.
What's wrong with that?
We expect that, but are we going to keep taking that shit? Is the problem?
We gotta go.
White people, for the racist white people, they do exactly what we expect them to do.
Mm.
But are we going to keep on accepting that shit? That's the problem.
So we should be going into different shit and just taking over, not building nothing up from the ground up. Just take over shit.
I mean, it's about how you want to go about it, bro. Everybody got their own way of how they want to pursue it. A lot of people want to shut up and dribble, and then you have people that's willing to fight for the cause. Is on the side of the coin of where you want to be.
Shoot, give me $1 million, give me some money. I'm shutting up and dribble, man.
Not me, bro.
But the only people that want to fight for the cause is after, just like Kaepernick, after you get the boot, after you figure out that you ain't finna get another check, or you possibly not finna get another check. Now it's time to fight. Long as you're eating butter biscuits with a little bit of honey on them, it's no problem. But soon as your butter biscuits running out, now it's time to run back to black people. Black people, please treat me bad. I'm not gonna get no more butter biscuits. I'm doing this for y'all. Y'all might not be able to get no butter biscuits in the future. Nah, nigga, you got your butter biscuit. Keep it pushing.
There's a bottom line with this all, man. Like, when I look at the Kaepernick shit, the only thing that was my opinion is, do you want to be a player or do you want to be a martyr? You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be both. You can't be both. But when I say I take everything what they did with a grain of salt, like, you got to look at what they're saying and what these people are speaking out and saying, is this shit really going on? And we can't deny the fact that it's going on. Now, if you choose to ignore it, that's you. But to say that it's not going on, that's bullshit.
You know her?
What they talking about?
What she say? You know, she say they should. Why not? 80% of the players are black, and the players are not treated fairly. Why we been? Oh, all right. Yeah, they get their butter biscuits, and when they think them butter biscuits, when it's time to go out there and fend for yourself.
Think about it, man.
And they tell you, and you been a house nigga all these years, you getting millions, and they say, yo, you keep it pushing, we done taking care of you, and they figure out they gotta go fend for themselves, and they ain't getting no more butter biscuits. That's when they come back to the black community and get y'all all riled up with racism. I want to see how much money out of this $4 million, $32,000 that Brian Flores was giving a month, how much of that he took back to the hood? Huh? How much he took back and gave that to some kids? How many football leagues he done started up in the hood with that money?
But did you know he didn't do nothing for his community?
I'm asking.
A lot of people. I'm
assuming not.
A lot of people that have it, just because it's not publicized, don't mean it doesn't happen. I'm not saying he does, but I'm saying, like, everything doesn't have to be about photo ops and photo press and stuff like that when shit like that happens. But my thing is, why do people feel like they could tell people what to do with their money?
Because when you ain't getting no money, you want us to feel bad because you ain't getting no job. You got your money. You got enough money.
That's why I say this is bigger than money, bro.
It's not bigger than money.
It's bigger than money.
Trust me. If it was bigger than money, he would have been suing while he was on the job. But you don't hear me. He would have been suing when he had a job if it wasn't about money. He would have put his money on the line. Now it ain't nothing to put on the line. So it's racism.
But this still affects the bottom line, because him speaking out now, you acting like he got fired and he said, damn, I can't get a job with the NFL, period.
He probably knocked on every door, and he probably looked at the chips. That's not no, I could guarantee this happened.
This goes to my next point, right? There's a lot of head coaches positions that open up every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I say, whether he did it when he was employed or him being unemployed is still not a factor, because if he really cared about the money aspect of it, this still would be a bad point of to speak out about it, because now you just kind of blackballing yourself, right? When you think about it, if it really meant that it was about the money and it was still the bottom line of that, this is bigger than money, bro.
He might already be backballed.
This just speaking out against the NFL, man. I mean, you speaking out against a whole system, bro, that's been ran this way for X amount of time. So I'm like, it's bigger than money to how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people got to look at the bottom line when it all comes down to it. And I think he has a legitimate case. Where we at?
Oh yeah, Jashaad says 3 major distribution labels. They don't let blacks get to that level on purpose. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's on purpose. See, we always try to make it like it's just impossible. Stop supporting theirs.
There's
that's the first step.
There's power.
Don't buy nothing from whites.
There's
that stuff will end overnight. Overnight. But white people use their power because, you know, I ain't want to talk about Joe Rogan, but they were trying to get Joe Rogan out the paint. White people started snatching their music down and the stock dropped overnight.
Okay.
That's how you just.
So I didn't know too much about the Joe Rogan stuff, but this is how I get it, right? Joe Rogan makes millions off his podcast with Spotify, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have black artists that have their music license and goes through Spotify, but Spotify pays them pennies for streams and stuff. Mm-hmm. So we know you got it because you paying a white podcast that amount of money. And this goes beyond, I think, me just thinking race. This goes about the systems that be. So if you could pay somebody X amount of money for bringing in this type of money on podcasting, how can you not afford to pay these artists that streams and keep your stuff afloat more money?
Because you probably overestimating the worth.
Now, that gets sticky because we're talking about 2 types of streaming. You know, like music streaming and podcasting is 2 totally different avenues.
That's why I say you probably
there's a point in it.
The worth.
Yeah, there's a point in it, but like if I'm a person that's like a Kanye who probably doesn't need music streams, that don't even care about all that, right? Mm-hmm. But if I'm Kanye and I speak out and say, well, I'm only getting all this money on Spotify deals and you paying Joe Rogan this amount, then I think it will be paid attention more. But like until that's, I mean, all right, people had so much, but this goes back full circle because everybody had so much to say about Jay-Z when he started up Tidal and have people get certain ownership in it. They seen that as a bad idea, some people. Mm-hmm. But now they coming back and complaining about Spotify. Why don't y'all fuck with Tidal then?
I just told you.
You know what I'm saying?
Because white people, ever since, what is that word I said earlier? Integration. They always thought that white ice was colder. Let's just keep it real. Black people don't want to work with each other. Because when we say, why don't y'all do it by yourself, y'all make up every excuse why you can't. That's just the reality.
Because like when we think about like the music industry period, a lot more people are going independent, which is a great route. We see Bootsy get money. People always asking, how is Bootsy able to still live the lifestyle he is? Because when you're independent, you know, you putting in that X amount of money to keep that will going, but then you're recouping just as much. As far as when you're in the industry, a lot of these people are on 360 deals and stuff like that. So like all that shit be props, shoes, clothes, cars, all that shit, majority rented.
That's what I'm saying.
People spending their advance money and all that and not selling the records. And we know people are not physically buying CDs these days. A lot of stuff come off streaming. So if you're making X amount of money off streaming and your merchandise not popping, you're not selling out shows and stuff like that, then you still have to recoup that money for the label. So that's how people be stuck in these slave deals. But we in 2022 and people are still stuck in slave deals. That's more so not only up to the system, but it has a lot to say with how the system takes advantage of people that are not that business educated.
And it's not really taking advantage of.
It is taking advantage because you market the stuff of these artists. You got to think about where some of these artists come from, right? So you take some of these artists that's from the hood that don't know shit about business, but just have literally a dollar in a dream. That just want to make it so they could be able to support their family, support their bottom line. And then you throw X amount of money on them. So if you a nigga that's broke and you in the hood and you have talent and somebody say, I'll give you millions of a deal for you to do this, you're going to jump at it instead of being like, oh, let me go get a lawyer. Let me see how this goes. They're going to sign on dotted line. They want that money. And they come back and start seeing, hey, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not getting paid for this. They're not sign.
You're supposed to get paid. You done got $1 million. Do your job.
No, a lot of people are not even getting that. So it all comes down with ignorance of them not having that education on it. And it's not because they probably didn't want it. It's like you got to think about where they come from, and you got to think about what they were going against and what the conditions of what they want to get out of. You don't say that that's still being taken advantage of. But we talk about places like these record labels, like these industries such as these record labels, whatever, that markets and grab the black dollars and promote all this stuff within black culture, but don't want to pay these black artists for that. And then we talk shit about people like Master P and stuff like that, that had it laid out of what the plan should have been, the blueprint of what it should have been for being fully independent.
That wasn't the blueprint. He just heard he lost all his catalog to the IRS.
Where do you see that on though?
That was whack.
People are saying Master P is broke, but I haven't seen no signs of Master P being broke. And I'm not saying it's not.
I'm learning. Listen, I don't want to cut you off. I'm learning a lot about these internet scammers, bro. It's a lot of people that's broke that you don't think broke, but
no,
bro,
it's facts. Like social media is a facade, man. It's smoke and mirrors. A lot of people that got it are people that are probably not looking like they got it.
That's what I'm saying.
One thing I can say about this generation, as much as like we could criticize the generation, they have learned how to get money without having to depend on corporate America, and I admire that.
Me too. I'm trying to get like that
because they learn how to use something that we use as just a venting method, like in Facebook. People putting their business on Facebook, TikTok, and every day, and doing all this shit and not generating no money. It just every day. This is part of my life, and I'm not making shit. We're so invested in something. Think about how many hours people put stuff into social media, right? And they're not making shit off it. These young people have learned how to come on here and make money off doing it. That's impressive, and I admire it. We may look at what they do and be like, man, that's lame, that's green, or they look on here looking like fools, but they know what their bottom line is, and they don't learn how to make money. Now, I admire that. Now, imagine if we could take something that we utilize that much and learn how to make money off of it.
And just put a little button on the Brian Flores, I just want my man he's suing. If he gets his money, get your money, man. But I feel like you got enough money. You ain't break me off nothing. Any last words on that, player? I know my girl right here said for the people in the back, this it always been bigger than money.
That's facts.
It's all about the money. And it's all about the motherfucking money. And when somebody tell you it ain't, they trying to get your money. I'm just telling you that off top. It ain't about the money. And then you look up, your shit be gone. Where my money at then? You got it.
And the thing about this, I'm probably gonna look back at this shit later and have so many points. You know what I'm saying? My mind gets to going like that. It's hard to get those points across, but it's like it's bigger. It's bigger than a lot of things that we cover, man. Like when it comes down to the topics we cover, it's bigger than money to me. Okay, for the most part.
You hanging there a couple more minutes. We gotta wrap it up. We passed a little hour mark. I think I go 5 more minutes. This is just I just want to do something a little lighthearted before I get out of here. Yeah, I missed it like 2 topics, but I think I might get to them tomorrow. Got some guests coming through. Apple, and I don't know if they're true or not, but it seemed true. It seemed like they're coming out with some type of Apple ring for married couple, Apple wedding ring, where they track you. Is this a good idea?
I seen it, and I want to know if it's true as well, because like I don't know how I feel.
Would you get that for your wife?
Hell no.
No?
Nah.
2
reasons.
Why?
Wife wouldn't even want it if I had one.
Why motherfucker want an Apple Watch?
That's different when you're talking about a wedding ring. You gotta talk. The average woman that you speak to.
But what did that Apple ring cost?
The ring matters.
They might put some diamonds in that joint.
They don't. Some of them don't even have to have a big reception, a big wedding, or whatever. But they want a nice ring. So you talking about something electronic like that? And first of all, like if it is true, it doesn't sound too. If it isn't, it doesn't sound too far fetched because they already have the Apple tag. And so the Apple tag is like, I'm not an Apple person. I own a MacBook, and that's where it stops. Like,
you don't got no Apple phone?
No, I don't do iPhone and none of that shit.
What the?
Yeah, because they'll give you a new iPhone, release some software, and like they'll force you to buy another one after they've unbugged your phone. It's like a hustle every time. They release a new iPhone with you and take away stuff from it every time they release a new phone. No, we're gonna release this came with the buds. Now we're gonna release one and you have to pay for the buds separately. Now we're gonna release another one, you're gonna have to pay for the charger separately. Like
I got you.
It's a hustle. But a lot of social media platforms and a lot of stuff caters to Apple. Even certain companies cater to Apple. So I see the benefits of having an Apple product, but to go back to the subject at hand, like they have this thing called the Apple tag, and it looks like a coin, I guess. And I guess it's like a locator device. I guess like you could use it, say if like you have a dog and your dog gets lost, you could attach it to the collar and you could look on the phone and you could go see where your dog is based off the Apple tag. So it's like some sort of locator device. And so when I was reading about this alleged Apple ring, it has the same type of capabilities. So think about it. If you married and you ain't shit husband and you wearing that Apple ring and you out doing your thing, your wife was like, you'd be like, oh, I went to the corner store. And your wife was like, nah, it shows that you off such a road here, blah, blah, blah. You'd be like, God damn, I see it right here, and have the screenshot of your GPS where you
I
at.
would like get to like detect motion. You know what I mean?
Why do you need a ring that does that?
Because I wanted to like, if it feel like my wife getting fucked, like, see, I want like my wife getting a lot of motion and she doing a lot of grabbing. I want to detect that and report to me fishy activity going on. You know what I mean? To my ring, because the only time our shit should be Bluetooth together. So the only time she should be getting feisty or doing a double jerk.
The double got 3000.
If she doing all that, I need the Apple ring to let me know what's the fuck going on. You know what I mean?
Nah, man, the Apple ring, man, like if it is true, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like technology is the new way of the world, and it could also be the downfalls of the world, because like shit be like too good to be true, man. It's gonna be the rise and our downfall, I believe. Technology. But if it is an Apple ring, there's gonna be people that's gonna run out and get it because they're just loyal Apple buyers, Apple product buyers. Some people may go out and get that Apple ring for their wife. But like what Elise says on here, the ring is like a prenup.
Yeah, I see that.
So I get what she's saying. Like, so when you have a ring, this is like an old way of how like they used to say it. Like the wedding ring is like what they would say an insurance plan for some. And this is like something I was reading, so I don't think it's like this for anybody. But the idea of a wedding ring, now I read about, like I said, I don't think this is true for everybody, but the old way of looking at a wedding ring is when they buy you the wedding ring, say if something happens to me, that you should be able to take this wedding ring and take care of the family. Take care, like, pawn it, whatever it is enough for you to be able to sustain.
They must don't know how much these little $1,500 rings cost now. You get
full glass.
And then when you take it to the pawn shop, you ain't gonna get number $500 for the motherfucker.
I don't even know why people still fuck with pawn shops.
Yeah, so that concept.
But I think that was like the old school concept of it. You know, of course, everybody got their own little subjective thing that they do now when it comes to marriage and stuff like that. That's a whole nother subject. Wow.
But what if you could take that Apple ring and it got a rubber band type of feel to it, then you could turn it to a cock ring?
How much do you think? How much do you think the motherfuckers cost, or they could potentially cost? Is the thing. When you think about Apple products alone, how much do you think Apple?
I think it'd be about 300. 300, yeah.
iPhone's not even that much. Apple Watch is not even that much.
Yeah,
Apple
Watch is probably gonna run you about.
They be trying to new Apple Watch could run you about.
Depends on what you get, because you get like a gold one. That might run you about 700.
No, like the new Apple Watches. If you go and look on like Apple.com right now or whatever it is, their website, I think like the newest Apple is probably gonna go from the range of $400 to $500.
I ain't even think about this. Sunflower Sky all off in the conspiracy world. She said getting you desensitized because implanting the microchip in your body is coming soon. How we know it's not already happening? Vaccine.
I don't even get into no superstitions and stuff like
those
conspiracy theories, because like, first of all, motherfuckers got to stop thinking that they so important that the government want to control them or watch.
And now, why does it matter?
I don't never feel like, if first of all, with all this technology we got, you don't already think they taking a look at what we do or what we saying, whatever. We got the cell phones, we got the internet, we have social media. So you think they have to implant a chip into us for us to look at us? And what makes you feel like you so damn important that the government got to look after you? My life is not that. It's not that exciting. You be looking at me, you gonna see me doing the same shit, working from home in my drawers.
And who is finna be monitoring all these? Who go? They need to hurry up and put the chip, because they put the chip in, and that's gonna be a whole lot of jobs open up, nigga.
They gonna monitor me, and they gonna hear a lot of shit they don't want to hear.
Now a lot of y'all niggas get talking about the chip, but y'all gonna be putting the application trying to get a job to monitor chips.
Hey, if you throw some money attached to it, some people will go do it.
What?
Think about the vaccine shit, like how they was marketing how is to get the vaccines, how many people went to these like places in California or these legalized states. They're like, oh, get a vaccine, you get some free pre-rolls. Think of how many motherfuckers now. I'm gonna give me some pre-rolls.
Give me some free chicken.
So
they know
like,
black people come down.
So when it comes down to technology, there's some people that want to be the guinea pigs of it and everything, but with this microchip stuff and all that stuff, I don't feel like I'm that important when you have to put a microchip in me. Like if the government want to look at somebody, I think I'm like last on the list of somebody they probably want to look and see what's going on with me. But that ring is interesting because I just want to know why would somebody want it? Would you want it because you're just a faithful Apple person, or do you really want to keep tabs on your mate?
Yeah, Sunflower say she can set all that down.
When you look at the picture of it, don't even look fire.
No, I mean, nah, but they could spruce it up. Yeah, I got the picture down there. They could spruce it up.
Yeah, it don't even look that fire like that. Like your girl will look at that and be pissed off. She see you put that on her finger.
Snuggles. Oh, what's going on, Snuggles? We got the host of the Living Room Podcast rocking out with us. We didn't get to everything we want to get to, but we were well over an hour. So we know we had a good conversation, especially about my guy Blind Flores. We might do an after show about that. Just to you know what I mean, put a button on it, because you may think of some stuff in a second.
Yeah.
It'll take about 5 minutes to do the after show. And appreciate everybody tuning in. Sunflower Sky, Honeycut, Elise. I haven't even seen her before.
Elise, shout out to Elise.
William Petway, New Haven, Connecticut in here. Okay, Pistol Waving, New Haven in the building.
That's what's up.
Pistol Waving, New Haven. Get it in. Toss it up. Ja Logic.
I didn't even see all these comments, how they was coming in. I should have paid attention to these a little bit. I like how you know you get that live feedback.
Yeah, they got some stuff in the comments. It say slavery still just a field. They say fun. You want? See, I know what they're getting into. Yeah, see, this is all about the slave. Black people just get emotional when they talk about that slave stuff.
Sensitive subject.
Motherfucker get a typing.
Sensitive subject.
Motherfucker get a typing when they talk about slavery.
Man, that can go. I don't talk politics. I don't talk none of that.
Lord Vale, what's going on, player?
On social media.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yes, we'll be out. Living Room Podcast. Let everybody know where you can get the Living Room Podcast.
The Living Room Podcast. First of all, you can follow me on IG at Jashaad904. That's
Jashaad.
Yes, that's JASHAAD 904.
Why you got all these aliases, man?
You said what?
Why you got all these aliases?
That's my middle name.
Oh.
That's my government middle name.
You acting like Umar Johnson.
So no, that's my government. Nah, hell no. Hell no. That's my government middle name. And you can check out the Living Room Podcast. I got the videos on my IG, and then you can go and check out the audio directly on anchor.fm Living Room Podcast. I mean anchor.fm Living Room. That's LIVIN room.
Okay.
And then from there, I got links from Spotify to anywhere you view podcasts on. I have to update the YouTube and stuff like that because I don't really participate with YouTube as much because I like to go. You like
the listening experience more podcast than video?
I think I get more views depending on what subject. I mean,
guest.
What subject and the guest, because like my most serious subjects, man, it takes a lot for people to grasp on it than when they see a big name. I notice, like, but I don't do it for that. I don't do it for like the clout or trying to do that. It's like for example, I did an interview with a doctor. His main subject was like he has an organization called the Fibroid Fighters, and it was like giving people information on fibroids and stuff like that because it affects the more so black women. But do you think that got more views or listens than
nigga want to hear the turn up
me interviewing a celebrity or something like that? So it's like at the end of the day, sometimes it's not about views like that. I understand when you behind this mic, you got a voice and it's about how you want to use it. And sometimes it's not about clout to me. It's more so trying to get a point across and information across or awareness or something. So
that's what I'm trying to get across. I'm trying to get this bullshit off.
Yeah. I tell you, there's responsibility behind this mic, man. It's not about if you have the voice and you have the talent, it's about how you use it.
Yes, and yeah, salute. What's going on, Keenan Khan Renters Union? We out here, we popping. I got my people coming through. My guy Trav Matic tomorrow. He probably bring some people too. We're gonna talk, have a good conversation, and we're gonna get to the topic we didn't get to today. I think we got like 2 topics we didn't get to today. Yep. Make sure you go stream that new J Lyric, number 7 on the R&B charts on iTunes. There you go right there. We deal with receipts. J Lyric. And make sure you go stream. And Jay Lyric trying to come through too. I think Lyric may come through tomorrow for a bit too. He want to talk about the charts and doing his thing. So we're gonna have Jay Lyric and we doing some things. Or if not that day, I think I have Jay Lyric. Maybe another day. We'll see.
Check out his music.
But yeah, definitely. I don't know. I lost my way here. Y'all definitely have to go check out that new Jay Lyric. It's on fire right now, and the link is in the comment section. If you don't got it, boom, I done put it back in there. I done double down on you. So it's in there if you need to holler at that new Jay Lyric. I might play them a little bit on the outro. I might play this kind of what your face like for these to be played at the end, beginning.
Yeah, let the people hear that.
We'll let you hear that. But before that, hear this.
Warning. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the presenter in their current state of mind, which they have the right to change at any given moment. The iRant Network and the members of the Ranters Union are not responsible for any claims made. All opinions and train of thoughts are welcomed here and protected by the First Amendment and the Ranters Union. All commentary, criticism, news reporting, research, teaching, and or scholarship of copyrighted material is protected by the Fair Use Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. iRant Network and the founder of the Ranters Union, Jashaad, aka Mr. M, recommends that you take what is said and do your own research. Read a goddamn book and form your own opinion. Furthermore, listen carefully to the ranters rant and debate their opinions and form your own conclusion. Thank you for watching this member-supported program, powered by the Ranters Union and produced for the iRant Network. Good day.
Good day it is. All right, man. Appreciate it. Like I said, we missed a couple topics, man. We were just discussing. We had a couple topics we wanted to discuss, but I'm trying to keep it on the hour. Everything, trying to keep everything digestible. But I'm sure he'll be back. Siobhan, thank you, sir. Living Room Podcast, all platforms. And thank you for tuning in, live and on point. Ranters Union.
Check out that boy Jay Lyric.
Jay Lyric, love me forever. We out. I might let this explain for a minute.
Tell me what can I do
Bing.
to get the
Bing.
chance for
Bing.
you
Bing.
to love me forever. Watching you smile when on FaceTime, wishing we can be closer, but that'll take time. You busy chasing the bag, I admire your hustle, girl, you a bad chick. You probably wonder why I didn't save it, and I never will. And if another nigga do, you know I shoot to kill. Let me get off that, and girl, you all that in the bag of chips, I mean it. And
Okay,
nobody else can
that's
never
good.
come
That's too
between.